So I see that a lot of you are not Jamboree students. So a brief introduction about Jamboree to you. So we have been in this industry since 1993. We are a company which trains students on GMAT, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, all these exams. And we also help students apply to universities which accept these scores. Right? So we have 39 physical centers in 22 countries, in 22 cities across 4 countries. And we also have been teaching online since 2012. During this entire lockdown period since last year, we have been teaching students online. Our students always have the option of coming back to our centers. So whenever the centers reopen, our students are welcome to come back to our centers and repeat the classes. uh, Over the years, we have the record of producing the highest number of 320 plus scores on the GRE and the highest numbers of 700 plus scores on the GMAT, right? So those of you who are not Jamboree students, in case you want to take a demo class, if you want a free demo class, you can leave your number in the chat, right? So our team will get in touch with you and schedule a demo class with you. And in this demo class, you will get kind of like a preview of the methodology that we use, right? We also do admissions counseling, and very often students, they interact with us to understand what their profile is like. With their profile, what kind of scores they should be targeting, what kind of universities they should be targeting. So if anyone wants a profile evaluation session, we'll be happy to provide you with that. The advantage of getting a profile evaluation done is to know where you stand and what you need to do now to reach or to get admission to the colleges that you are targeting. So maybe it's a good GRE score, maybe you have to fill in some gaps in your profile. So if anybody wants a profile evaluation session or a demo GMAT or GRE class, please leave your number in the chat. Your messages are coming only to me, so you don't have to worry about other people seeing your messages. I see a lot of you typing, so I will just pause for a moment here. So today's agenda is, we'll talk about the GRE at home. So as you know, you can take the GRE from your home as well. So how it's different from the GRE exam that is conducted at these centers. What are the technical requirements? What are the pros and cons of taking the GRE exam from your home, etc., etc. Right? So basically, at the end of the session, you will probably be able to take a call, based on whether you should take the GRE from home or not. Okay, so this is the agenda for today's session. First of all, what is the GRE at home? Okay, so the GRE at home means it can be taken from your home. Not, you don't have to go to a test center. You can take the GRE from your home. And it is available 24/7. So basically 7 days a week and 24 hours a day, unlike the exam that is offered at the centers. In the centers, the exam is offered only in fixed time slots, right? So you get 3 slots a day, but the GRE at home, it is offered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can book the appointments even as late as just 24 hours in advance. You don't need to book your dates like a month in advance or 10 days in advance. You can, let's say you want to take the exam on Sunday, so you can book the date today, right now. So that's the advantage. So you can actually take the exam whenever you are ready, right? So now there are some questions usually when we interact with our students. Some, they want to know whether the exam is different, whether universities will give it same weightage as the exam that is conducted at the center, etc., etc. So we'll address some of these questions today. Now first of all, there is no change in the exam structure. So whether you take the GRE exam at home or at the center, the components of the exam remain the same. There is going to be an AWS section. There are going to be 2 math sections, 2 verbal sections, and an unscored section, right? So there's no change in the exam structure. Therefore, there is no change in the exam duration also, right? There is no change in the test fee. The registration fee remains the same. There is no change in scoring. So the GRE exam that you take from home, it's also out of 340. The GRE exam that you take from the center, that is also out of 340, right? Therefore, universities, they give the same weightage. So universities do not have any preference. For them, whether you take the GRE exam from your home or from the center, it's like it doesn't make any difference, right? The GRE scores that you will get, whether you take the exam from the center or from home, the scores are going to be valid for 5 years. So there is no change in the score validity period as well. Also, there is no change in retaking policy. So for an exam, for a GRE exam that you take from the center, so if you want to retake, you can do so after 21 days. Similarly, if you take a GRE score at home and you want to retake, you can do it after 21 days. So there is no change in the retaking policy. So in short, there is no change. So whether the exam you whether you take the exam at this center or from your home, there is no change whatsoever. Okay. But of course, when you go to the center, when you go to a test center, then all the equipment, internet, the computer, everything is going to be provided by the center. However, when you are taking the GRE exam from your home, you have to then make the arrangements. Okay, so what are the technical requirements? What do you need? What's the equipment that you would need in case you want to take the GRE exam from your home? So you must it should be taken on a desktop or a laptop. So no tablets, no mobile devices allowed, right? And these are the operating systems. So if you're using Windows, so if you have a Windows desktop or laptop, then it should be versions 10, 8 or 7, nothing lower. If you are using a Mac, iOS, that is, so it should be 10.5 or higher, right? So 10.1, 13, that's the recommended one, but a 10.5 would also work. In terms of browser, so you must use either Chrome or Firefox, not Internet Explorer or Safari or anything. So either Chrome or Firefox. So these are the browsers that you have to install. You have to have installed on your laptop or desktop, whatever you are planning to use for your exam. So download and install the ETS test browser on the computer that you will use for the test. So this is on the GRE website. So you have to download and install it in advance. So if your exam is on Sunday, let's say, then at least 2-3 days in advance, you should download and install it. Now, when you're taking the exam, the GRE exam, from your computer, from your home, then there is some proctoring going on. Proctoring means invigilation, right? So when you take any exam in your school or college, so there is a human being, a teacher who is invigilating, right, to see whether you are cheating or to see whether you are doing anything else. So that invigilator is also called proctor. Okay. So the GRE exam that you are going to take from home, so there's a human being, there's a proctor system. So that person will that system would like check your screen activity, whatever is going on your screen, and the human being proctor will see whether you are on your seat, not on your seat, whether you are speaking, etc., etc. So this proctor you system check will also be so do that. You have to do it from the GRE website and before your exam as well. So these are the system requirements. If you want, you can click a picture of the screen. So if you want, you can click a picture of the screen. So that when you are when you're getting ready to book for the exam, you should have these details. Okay. Now continuing with the technical requirements, your system should have these speakers. You must use an internal or external speaker to hear the proctor. So basically, in a laptop, so right now I'm conducting this webinar, so I'm not using any external microphone or speaker. I'm using whatever is there on my laptop. So that's what you have to so external speaker you can attach through your through the speaker jack. You can do so. So internal or external speaker. You are not allowed to use headsets or wireless earphones, right? So if you have any headphones like wireless or Bluetooth earphones or something like a mobile headset, so those are not allowed. You can use only speaker, external or internal speaker. The microphone You have to use, and again, a microphone, but that is not a part of a headset. Okay, so your proctor, remember, is going to be a human being. So your proctor will ask you questions. In the beginning of the exam, the proctor will ask you to, to show you the room. The proctor would ask you to show you the table, to make sure that there is no paper, pen, etc. So for all of this, you will have to interact with the proctor. Proctor is the invigilator, so you have to interact with that person. And for those, you will need, for that you will need the speaker and microphones. So if you happen to have a, like, if you have a laptop or desktop, make sure that it is, the system is equipped with the speakers and microphones also. The camera, it can be a built-in camera in a laptop. Most laptops have a built-in camera, or you can have a separate webcam as well. So the separate webcam is, is not very convenient. So but if you're going to use a laptop, then the built-in camera is good enough. The camera must be able to be moved, so that the proctor can get a 360-degree view of the room. So before your, before the test, you have to um, rotate your laptop, and show the proctor the entire room, all the four walls of the room, whatever you have on your desk. So there should be no reading material, writing material. There should not be anything, any written word basically in your room, right? So for that, you should either have a webcam that you can just hold in your hand and show the proctor the entire room, or if you have an inbuilt, laptop camera, then you can rotate your laptop also, you can move your laptop, right? So this is one of the requirements. So if you have a some any kind of static camera that you cannot move, that you are unable to move, so then that will not help, right? So again, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. So these are the requirements in terms of equipment and the technical requirements, so to say. Right. So feel free to click a picture of the screen. Now, testing environment. So testing environment means, what should the test be like? Can you just take it in any random room? What are the things that you have to take care of? What should you wear, not wear, etc., etc.? So that's also important. Now, these are the things that are taken care of when you go to a physical center. So they will take care of that, right? They will see the testing environment. You don't have to worry about that. The center is going to be exactly how it's supposed to be. But when you are going to give it from your own room, from your own home, then you have to make sure that the environment is the standardized environment. So for that, so you must be alone in a room with no one else entering during the test. So we had a case with one of our students. So his room, he was alone in his room, but in the middle of the test, his younger brother came to use the bathroom, right? So the bathroom was attached to his room, so he was disqualified, right? So you don't want such accidents to happen. So if you have a room, just it's best that you just lock the door from inside. Nobody else should be entering the room while you are taking the test. Your computer keyboard must be on a desk or other tabletop surface. So it should not be on the floor, so to say. So if you let's say don't have a proper study table, so I would recommend that you buy at least a small, like a bed table kind of thing, so that even if you are putting it on the floor, you are not putting your laptop on the floor. You can put a small table on the floor, and then on top of it you put your laptop, right? So your laptop or keyboard must be on a desk or a tabletop, small table. You must sit in a standard chair. So you cannot sit on a bed or a couch, or like, or one of those comfortable sofas and all, right? So it has to be a standard chair, right? Standard chair means like a study table kind of chair. If you don't have it, then you can buy one of those foldable chairs also. We had a student who bought a foldable table and foldable chair specifically for to take the GRE exam, right? They are cheaper than trying to buy furniture. So by the way, dining table and chair also works. So again, we had a student, so he did not have a study table kind of thingy in his home. So he took the exam and he sat on the, dining table and used the dining table chair. So that also works, right? So food and drink are not allowed during the test. So this is exactly the same as the test center. So while you are taking that test, you cannot have any water bottle or anything on your table. So this is a common mistake that students do. They think that they can have a water bottle, but you can't. You cannot have any food or drink, during the test. So nothing should be there on your table. Your ears must be visible throughout the test, not covered by hair. Okay, so now this is very, very important. The proctor wants to ensure that you do not have any, like, AirPods or anything in your ear. So if for those of you who have long hair, the girls, or any boys who have long hair, make sure that you tie them up neatly. So your ears have to be visible throughout the exam. Do not leave your hair open. Any boy or girl who has like long hair, make sure that you tie it up neatly. Even those with short hair, it helps if if you can, like, put a clip on your hair near your ears, so that your ears are visible throughout the exam. You must be dressed appropriately for your test. You will be monitored via camera by the proctor. So appropriately does not mean that you have to be all in formals. It can be anything. Just a t-shirt and jeans also work. So with girls, again, t-shirts and jeans work, or you can have a salwar suit, or but you have to be dressed appropriately. Because you will be photographed during the test, so dress appropriately. If it's like summer now, so if you don't have an AC in your room, so to say, then just wear a like half t-shirt and jeans. That should be enough. You wear shorts also, by the way, right? So in short, don't wear anything that you would not have worn to the physical test center. If you were taking the exam in the physical test center, so whatever you would have worn to take the exam, the same you outfit kind of you should wear, during the test at home also. Avoid wearing such items as jewelry, tie clips, cufflinks. Anyway, you don't use all of these, but with girls, do not wear earrings, during the exam. And guys also, those of, if any of you, if you have earrings, then do not have that. The proctor may think that it's an airport or something. So do not have anything in the ear area. That's the general advice. Now, note taking material, so especially for the maths bit, you will need some some place, some paper or something, something to do your rough work. So that is called note taking materials. In terms of note taking materials, so these are the allowed ones. So you may take notes, or you can do rough work in either a whiteboard with erasable marker. So there are these small whiteboards that you can purchase from Amazon also, right? Or like 1 feet by 2 feet, or 2 feet by 3 feet, something that can be managed on a table. It should not be a 6 feet by 4 feet kind of huge thing, right? A 1 by 2 or 1 by 3 is an ideal thing. So a whiteboard with erasable markers. So markers, basically the ones that your teachers use, something like that, right? A whiteboard with markers and a dry eraser. So that's you can use, or you can have paper with transparent sheet protector, right? So these are like the OMR sheets, the sheets that are used on for projectors. So you can use those as well. But I would prefer the whiteboard one, because it's easy. You can buy it off. You can buy it on Amazon. You can write and then you can erase. It's actually easier to manage than with transparent sheet protector. All of that is like way too confusing. So buy a whiteboard from Amazon. 1 feet by 2 feet is a good, like is a standard dimension. And like some markers, not permanent markers, whiteboard markers with a dry eraser, right? So you will be asked to erase at the end of the exam. Your proctor will ask you to like show the whiteboard that you have been using, and you will be asked to wipe off everything, right? Front and back. Whiteboards, sometimes you can use both sides. So your proctor will ask you to wipe off everything in what, just put up the whiteboard to the camera, and then wipe off everything, right? So now, those of you who are planning to take the GRE exam at home, just make sure that when you are taking your full length mock test, the last 3 4 full length mock tests, you should take them in the same time slot as your actual exam. Plus you should use this same equipment, right? You should use the same whiteboard, same marker, eraser, so that you are used to it, right? So it should not come as a surprise. Now there have been couple of instances which it happened to actually 2 3 of our students. Some of you have this habit, especially with reading passages, with reading comprehension, that you move your lip, while reading, right? You may not be speaking aloud, but you probably move your lip. So now that the is not allowed. The proctor may think that you are reading out the question to somebody else, right? So moving your lips is not allowed. If you move your lips, I mean, not just move your lips, but if you read, using just by moving your lips, then there is a pretty good chance that you will be disqualified. So if you have this habit of reading out the questions aloud, or like moving your lips while reading the question, then stop it, right? You don't want to get disqualified for something small like this. So get into the habit of not moving your lips while reading the questions. Now, what are the pros and cons of taking the GRE exam at home? Should you take the GRE exam at home, or should you wait for the physical test centers to open up? Okay, now that's a call. So, by the way, last year in 2020, almost all our students took the exam from home, and it did not seem to make a big difference, in their scores. The scores that they ended up getting on the actual GRE scores was very very similar to the scores that they were getting on their mock test. So whether you take the exam from home or from, so it's not, there is this myth that you will get a low score. So that's not the case. In terms of pros and cons, let's go with the pros first. Why should you take the GRE exam from home? Okay, first, it's safe, obviously. We are still in the middle of the second wave. There may be a third wave coming, who knows, right? So you should definitely limit your exposure as far as possible, not go out of your homes. Therefore, safety. So when you take the GRE exam from your home, then you are not taking any unnecessary risks. So safety is the number one pro, obviously. Second, you are taking the exam in a familiar setting. It's your room, right? It's your house, your room. So there's a familiarity there. When you go to a physical test center, you have to reach like 30 minutes in advance. They will be checking you, they'll be frisking you. You have to, like, they will take a picture. It's a little like a, when you go for to take your passport kind of thing experience. You have to wait in line. So now when you're taking your exam from home, all of that is not happening. You are sitting in your room, right? It's as familiar as it gets. The equipment is familiar. Now it makes a massive difference. So when you go to the physical test centers, most of them are desktops. Actually, they use purely desktops. And in the past, we had students who would say that, that during the AWA, typing the AWA essay, some of the keys on the keyboard were not working, or they had difficulty finding the keys. So all those things happen in a test center setting, because the computer is unfamiliar, right? Now when you are going to take the exam on the same laptop or desktop that you will be using for your mock test, so you are familiar with the equipment, and that's a massive plus. As I told you earlier, we had cases where students had difficulty adjusting to the desktops at the test centers, because they were so very used to their own laptops. Okay, so the equipment familiarity is a big plus, big positive. Next is timing convenience. So, see, our brains work differently. Some of us are morning people, some of us are, like late night people, right? So, when you take an exam in a physical test center, you just have three slots. Either you choose the morning slot, or the afternoon slot, or the evening slot. The morning slot is 9 to 12. There is no option of doing a 10:30 or 11, right? Because it's like 9 to 12, and the afternoon slot is 1:30 to, like, 5:30. So, and the evening slot is 5 to 9. So there is nothing in between. You cannot choose an 11 a.m. kind of slot, right? You cannot choose a 3 p.m. kind of slot. So, but these disadvantages are not there when you are taking the exam from your home. The exam is available 24 hours, a day, 7 days a week. The physical test center exams are not offered on the weekends. So Saturday, Sundays, you cannot take the exam. So you have to take it on a weekday, right? But now, you can actually choose a time. Maybe Sunday 11 a.m. is when you want to write the exam, or maybe Monday 2 p.m. is when you want to write the exam. So you can pick a timing and a day, when you are most comfortable. So that convenience is there. More than the day, actually, the timing makes a big difference, right? So that, that's one other positive. Plus, you are there's no commuting time. As I said, when you are taking a test in a physical test center, you have to arrive 30 minutes in advance. So you have to leave your house. There is always some tension about whether you are going to encounter traffic or not. So if your exam slot is at 9 o'clock, you have to probably wake up at 6:30, have your breakfast, get ready, all of that. But when you're taking an exam from home, there's no worry. You don't have to worry about whether you will encounter traffic or not, whether you will reach late or on time or not. You are in your home, so you are saving on the commuting time and all the stress related to the commuting. Okay, so all of these points, they add up to students being less nervous and facing less exam anxiety. When you are in a familiar setting, using familiar equipment, taking an exam in a timing slot, that is convenient to you. So the whole nervousness or anxiety level goes down drastically. So it's almost like you can tell yourself that, well, it's just another mock test, right? So your brain, you can train the brain to think that it's just another mock test. So, and when you are less nervous or even exam related anxiety is less, then you'll probably end up making less silly errors, less silly mistakes, because you're not nervous, and that will lead to you getting a higher score. So as I was telling you earlier, that when we were analyzing the 2020, all our students who had taken the exam from home, and when we were matching them up to their mock test scores, we found that their mock test scores were, so whatever they ended up getting on the actual GRE, that was like very close to whatever they were getting in their mock test, right? So it's that's another big plus. Okay. Now, what's the con? What can be the downside, of you like taking the GRE from home? The biggest downside is poor internet connectivity. So if you do not have good internet connectivity, so then you should not actually, take the exam from home, or take the exam from somebody else's home rather, or from an office setting. So you can choose the destiny, you can choose your location. If your own internet connection is bad, then don't like take it from your home. You can take it from your office, you can take it from a friend's house, but then of course you lose out on all the other advantages, right? That we had talked about, familiarity of setting, etc., etc. You will still use your own laptop, so the equipment familiarity is going to be there, but the rest of the things you will probably lose out on. So make sure that you have good internet connectivity, in case you plan to take the GRE from home. See, internet bandwidth is not the problem, so it's not that you need 100 mbps, 200 mbps. Bandwidth is not the problem, connectivity is the problem. So if you live in an area where the internet connection keeps dropping, so then that means you do not have good internet connectivity. It has nothing to do with bandwidth, by the way, right? The GRE exam can be taken from 100 mbps, like you don't need too much bandwidth to take the exam, but the connectivity, the the internet should not drop, so all of that is important, right? So this is the only con. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. And as I said earlier, if you want to take a GMAT or GRE demo class with us, or a profile evaluation session, you can leave your number. And I would strongly urge you to take the GRE exam from your home if you have good internet connectivity, because your chances of getting a score similar to your mock test is very high. When you go to a physical test center, then there are a lot of things, your equipment, the whole setting can make you nervous. So I would strongly urge people to take the GRE exam from home if internet connectivity is not an issue, right? Okay, so if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand. I can give you mic access. All right, Eva Gupta, what's your question?
Ma'am, is there a possibility that the abroad universities prefer like physical exam scores or a home exam score? Or is it
I think you probably missed the beginning of the session. I did discuss that universities have no preference, because there is absolutely no difference in the exams.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Sanchit Singhal, what's your question? Sanchit Singhal, what's your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ma'am, actually, I just want to know that what will be the right time to start prepare for this GRE and all?
So, which session are you targeting?
Ma'am, actually, after in 2023.
2023.
Yes, ma'am.
So the GRE scores are valid for 5 years. So you can take it, whenever in your second year, third year, or final year, you can take it whenever you want to.
Ma'am, actually, I'm asking about preparation.
What preparation?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know about the GRE exam, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it has a math section and the verbal section. For the math section syllabus is 9th, 10th level maths and couple of chapters from class 11th. And the verbal is actually class 6, 7 level maths, So,
Ma'am,
yeah.
Ma'am, actually, I want to know that that most of the students that when do they start preparing for it for GRE? Like in
So
second
that's my,
year.
yeah, right. So most of the students, they start, either in the second year or third year. Fourth year, the final year students, usually they like to keep it free for applications and their campus recruitments and all of that. So second year and third year, if you're an engineering student, that is, so second year and third year is when a lot of the students prepare and take the exam.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Most of your final year would go into applying to universities actually. Yes, Shravani, what's your question?
Ma'am, when is it the right time to start applying if I'm targeting for 2022 fall?
If you are targeting the next session, that is the August-September session of 2022, then the applications, the online applications for that session will be out in August. Okay, and if you want to, if you're applying for MS and PhD programs, then universities give admission on a first come first serve basis. So basically, this, even though the deadline may be in January or something, but if they get a good profile, so they will give the admission offer in September, October also. So the online applications for next, August 2022 session will be out from this, August 2021. So you should try to send in your applications as soon as possible. And if you you will take at least a month to prepare for your applications, etc. And if you give yourself about 3 to 4 months to prepare for your GRE exam, so that's the timeline that you are looking at.
Oh, so max to max, we should be ready with our score by August.
Not August, you can, September, October, the deadlines are in December, January. So if you can have your scores ready by August and if you can send out your applications by September, that is the best possible outcome. But you can, take the exam in September, send out the applications in October. You should try not to apply too close to the deadlines because very often the seats get, filled by then.
Oh, okay. And regarding this lip movement, which Proctor doesn't allow during RCs.
Can you speak a little louder?
Yeah. So regarding this lip movement, which is not allowed during the RCs.
What is RC? The entire exam, your like lips, should be sealed. You should not like move them.
Yeah, I mean, I have that habit of reading it like that in RCs. So in test centers, is it allowed?
Right, test centers it is allowed.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Akanksha, what's your question?
Actually, ma'am, I'm in my third year right now, and I would be beginning like entering my MS program in 2023. So, I had asked many seniors that, when did they start preparing for this exam? So they told that 6 to 8 months are more than enough. So, is that so, or there's something else? Like we need to give more time?
No, actually 6 months is also more, ideally 4 to 5. Most of our students take the exam, in 4 or 5 months, not more. The more you prepare, your preparation will just plateau out, you should take the exam when you're in the peak of your preparation. So 4.5 months is more than enough actually. 8 months is way too long for a GRE exam.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Husandeep Singh, what's your question?
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. Actually, I am pursuing bachelor's in English from Delhi University, and I am in final year right now. So I am planning to pursue my master's in US for Jan 2022.
For January 2022. So
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
spring
I have
session.
to give GRE and IELTS as well.
Yeah, so you have to kind of hurry up. The deadlines
Yes.
will be in August. So you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to, you have to like take the, it's already June,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you will
And
have
last
to.
year I have joined the Jamboree education, and I have attended the lectures as well. But due to some family issue, I was not able to give exam. So now I am prepared.
All right. So then you
Yes.
go, have you done all the content, all the full length mock tests on our portal?
No, ma'am. Now I will do. Now
Okay.
I
So
have to
then,
start again.
so
Yes, ma'am.
basically now just devote 1 month completely to do all the
Okay, ma'am.
sectional tests and the mock tests on our platform. After
Okay, ma'am.
every 2 full length tests, just get in touch with your faculty to do an evaluation.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
After 2 full length, do not just keep on giving the test on your own. After every 2 full length tests, you should do a like do a test analysis with your faculty. Okay.
Ma'am, I am having problem with maths as I am a arts background student. So
Okay.
I am facing problem with quant section.
Okay. So you have access to our online portal, right?
Yes, ma'am. I am.
So have you gone through the videos there?
Yes, ma'am. I will start from today.
Yeah, do go to the video. So they are
Okay.
very, so even if your classes are over already, so you can watch the video, which will be a quick revision for you. So for both math and verbal, watch the videos, so it will be a quick like revision for you. And then if you think you need any help, then just reach out to the center wherever you had enrolled.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay, all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am,
So by the way, if those of you who do not have any questions, you can feel free to leave. I hope you have a great weekend. And those of you who have questions, I'll just we'll take 3 more questions. If I'm not able to answer your questions, and you can leave your questions in the chat along with your number, our team will get in touch with you. Tejaswini,
Ma'am.
yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. So like my question was whether the writing material for GRE Center is same as GRE Home.
Say it again.
The writing material for GRE Center, the note taking.
Oh no, at the center they will give you something called a scratch pad, which is like a laminated kind of pieces of paper.
Okay.
In the physical center.
Okay.
Teja, can unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ma'am, my question is, let us say that I took my exam either in spring or fall season. Now that I couldn't get my university that I wished, so can I apply in the next season, irrespective of the month that I took my GRE exam?
I didn't understand. Can you repeat your question?
Okay, ma'am. Let me clear it. So let us say that I took my GRE exam in the next month, July.
Okay.
So and then my scores were I got my score, and then I couldn't get my university in the next coming months. Like let us say the deadlines are up to December, so I couldn't get my university. Can I reapply to any university in the next season?
Yes, you can.
Or is there something like this? Like I took my GRE exam in the July, so I should apply for the next July only. I couldn't take the in spring season like that.
No, nothing like that. The GRE score is valid for 5 years. So if you take your exam in July, you can apply for any session that happens after July.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
the university deadline has to be there. The application deadlines have to be there, but you can.
Okay, ma'am. So there is no such thing like some universities will accept only from this season like that.
No, no, no. There is nothing like that. All
Okay,
the
thank you.
universities accept the 5-year validity period.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, for engineering, for in case of pursuing masters, so each and every university will be opening their applications in every season.
No, no. For see, all these universities will take students in the August session, and about 50% of the universities take students in this January session also. So the number of universities which take new students in January session, that number is less, far lesser than the number of universities which take students in the August session.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I got it.
All right. All the best. Okay. The next question is Pranay Sagar.
Actually, ma'am, I wanted to know that would be September mid or October starting all right to apply for giving the GRE exam. I would be applying for the 2022 fall.
September, October is fine. It's all right. But you should have the rest of your applications ready. Your SOP, LORs, you should have all of them ready so that you can. I mean, 2 to 3 weeks after your GRE exam, you should target to send out your applications.
So what would you suggest would be the last date I could give the GRE?
You can give it in November, December also. There are university deadlines in November, in December, in January. So first decide which colleges universities you want to apply to, then check their websites, and then you can take a call. But this November, December also, there are lots of universities which have deadlines in December and January.
So by October mid, I would be able to apply to most of the universities.
Yes, yes. See, the online application is going to be available from August. So, but you cannot apply without your GRE score. But if you take your exam, in mid of September or mid of October, all I'm trying to say is that, see, usually it takes about a month to have the application ready. Okay. So side by side, if you keep on working on your SOP, LOR, CVs, all of them, then, once you have taken your GRE exam, it will take you just about 2-3 weeks to just wrap up your applications and send them out. Right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so last question of the day is from Bhargav. Yes, Bhargav, what's your question? Bhargav Chandiran, you can unmute yourself. And for those of you whose questions I was not able to answer, please put your question in the chat along with your number. Our team would get in touch with you. Yes, Bhargav. Okay, I think Bhargav is not available. So let's Kaushik Majumdar, what's your question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to know what will happen if my internet connectivity is lost halfway through the exam.
Your exam will be, that attempt will be gone.
So I'll be disqualified.
It will stop at whatever point you were at.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so that's all for now. I hope you guys learned something new, or I hope it was worth your time. If you have any further questions, just you can leave your questions in the chat. Our team will get in touch with you. And any of you, those of you who are not Jamboree students, feel free to leave your number in the chat so that our team will connect with you either for a free demo or a free profile evaluation session. So all the best for your GRE exams. Get good scores and have a great weekend.